air right out of the room, frankly, to hear the United States government not be able to concede to the United States Supreme Court that it would follow what the court says. I think this is building on a really troubling trajectory that this administration has put us on. And I said there, and I believe this case was about birthright citizenship, which is incredibly important, whether the president can rewrite the Constitution, but it's about whether the president is going to adhere to the constitutional norms that this country has abided by for 2.5 centuries.
Yeah, and I talked about this a bit in that they want to get rid of nationwide injunctions because they don't want there to be the check on them and the check on the system. Explain to us, I tried to explain it there, but you're actually a legal expert, what the risk of that is and what the impact is on, could be on the American people.
Well, I would just note that as State Attorney General, I've been consistent on this issue across administrations. I wouldn't necessarily say the people arguing in court today on the other side have been so consistent as you noted. But look, nationwide injunctions should be limited. They're an extreme remedy, but there are extreme cases, and this is clearly one. When the president is going to disregard a 157-year-old provision that we put in the Constitution after the bloody Civil War because we wanted to say never again are we going to debate whether children born on U.S. soil are in fact citizens. 127 years of Supreme Court precedent, over 100 years of executive office practice. This is not a close call. And so as Justice Jackson said, as Justice Sotomayor said, as many of, frankly, the conservative justices asked, what else are we expecting people to do? They have to find a lawyer, every single child born here. And I want you to just think about the absurdity if their position prevails. I'm the Attorney General for New Jersey, 9.5 million people. We border Pennsylvania. Many mothers in South Jersey give birth at Philadelphia hospitals. Are we really going to say, because Pennsylvania is not in the suit, that those children are not citizens simply because their mother went to a hospital across the river? But that's what the United States government is arguing in court.
It's creating two societies, essentially. I mean, it's abortion rights, it's the right, what rights you have if you're born here and what state you're born in. I mean, one of the things that's striking is that the Supreme Court was not asked to rule on the merits of birthright citizenship at all. So when people shorthand this as a birthright citizenship, it is about that. But is that pretty telling in terms of how the government is approaching it, right?
Yeah, if they thought they were right on the merits, they'd be asking the court to tell us that they're right on the merits. I think it's very notable that they're asking just for the court to say, only treat this injunction as binding on states that are in this suit. Because as Justice Jackson pointed out, she called it, would create a sort of catch-me-if-you-can situation for the federal government, because basically for several years the government wants to continue to deny people the rights that are in the Constitution that they are entitled to, the rights and privileges. And it's not just citizenship, it's healthcare, it's education. And they want to say, okay, in states like New Jersey, we'll concede. We're not going to say you're not a citizen if you're born here. But for every other state, the 27 or so other states that didn't join the suit, all with Republican attorneys general, I would note, those people in those states, those children in those states are out of luck. And what happens when those kids and those families move into states like New Jersey? We're supposed to sit there and parse whether you were a citizen based on the hospital or the state you're born in? I mean, that's crazy. But that is exactly, again, what the United States government was arguing to the 9 justices of the Supreme Court today.
You are the Attorney General.